Okay, so it is the middle of February. Happy Valentine's Day. Um, we are over halfway through our fifth grade year. This is our second year. Um, so I wanted to document how far we've gotten and then what my plans are for next year's curriculum. I feel good about where we are. I feel good about what we're going to complete. It's not going to be 100%, but that's okay. We've had a whole bunch of snow, a whole bunch of sickness. We've just had a lot of stuff. So we have in Virginia, we do um, like an assessment or a testing. So we do an assessment, and I scheduled our assessment for the end of May. So we have 3 months to wrap up. And so let's start with the easy thing. So states and capitals. We're still doing traveling the states, and we will finish. We have done 40 states and capitals, 40 states, so we have 10 left. So at the rate of 2 a week, we'll finish that before the end of the year. So that'll be a huge accomplishment. Once we've done all 50, we'll spend the end of the year just reviewing and doing other tests, things like that. Also for history, we're doing Curiosity Chronicle Early Modern Times Volume 1. We'll finish that up, listening to that. We're reading it, and sometimes we're reading it, and sometimes we're listening to the audiobook. For science, we did a pivot. We were going to do sassafras, which we love, and we'll still do all of sassafras, but I got a Common Chaos Science, the astronomy section, because we really wanted to do astronomy. So we started that really late in the year because we did sassafras science for the first half. So we're working our way through astronomy. We will not finish that before the end of the year, but we'll probably take a break and then restart that in the fall. And she also has an earth science section, so we're doing that. We will not finish that, but we'll keep it going after the summer. And so then grammar. So we'll just do math first. So math is still with Mrs. E. We have 2 hours a week of teaching, and then I sort of do review. She's definitely made progress this year, which I think is the goal. I'm still doing like sort of a bunch of different kinds of workbooks and worksheets to sort of support what Mrs. E is doing and continuing to go back and review. It's just repetition, and so we're doing between like 2 and 3 pages a day. I would say we do math nearly every single day. We may take 1 day off a week, but she does a lot of math because we need a lot of repetition with that. She reads with one of our neighbors 3 hours a week now. She was doing 2, now she's doing 3. She's doing really well. We've got a big list of books that she's read for the year, and that's been amazing for that as well. And then we're doing Hearth and Story for language arts. We do not do brain food. We are not doing writing, but we are doing spelling. We'll get through 3/4 of the spelling list, probably 20 out of 25 before the end of the year. We'll get through all of Hearth and Story grammar. We're on the 3rd book of 4 books, so we'll finish all of the literature section of Hearth and Story. We're almost done with poetry, so we'll finish all the poetry section of Hearth and Story, and so that feels good. So the only thing that we'll leave on the table is brain food and writing, and a little bit of spelling words, which is fine with me. That is everything. Everything, I think. Yeah. So what about next year? So for language arts, we will be doing Hearth and Story grade 6. I have already ordered it. I have not sent it to print yet, but I'm very pleased with the Hearth and Story format, so I'm excited to move to that next year. I forgot to say Fix It Grammar. We're finishing up Fix It Grammar 1. We'll be done with that before the end of the year. But then we'll just move right into the next Fix It Grammar. And we'll just keep that going. She does grammar all year round. Math and grammar are all year round. we start our school year in July, so we can make sure we get so we finish the end of May, we take most of June off, and we start in July, and we just work all year round so that we can have a lot of flexibility and move at our own pace. All right, so Hearth and Story will be grade 6, so we're headed into middle school. I will tell you my plans for middle school, unless something drastically changes, is we will do Hearth and Story 6 next year. We will do Hearth and Story 7, 8 the year after, unless something really changes. And then looking back at Michael Clay Thompson back in 8th grade, but we'll see if we get through all of 7, 8 or not. I'm not sure if that's a thicker curriculum or if it's designed to be 1 year or 2 years. I haven't seen it yet. So that's the plan for middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th, which is when we always thought we would pull her to middle school. And so it's kind of funny that we're 2 years into this now, looking at middle school. It's crazy. So that will encompass, we will not be doing writing still with Hearth and Story. We will I have all IEW, the first level, so I'm going to take a stab at that. My plan is to try to work through it over the 3 years. So I'm going to take writing very, very slowly because it is a subject that she does not like to write, and she will not learn to type. And so I have to figure out sort of the text to type thing before the fall because she's got to get there. We've got to get to where we're writing, and then we're going to do IEW, and then we'll continue with Fix It Grammar as like our daily grammar practice, even though we also do the Hearth and Story grammar, but neither of which are a ton of stuff. So it's good, and they kind of cover different things, and so that's good. Spelling is, there's no spelling in Hearth and Story 6, it's vocabulary. I'm super excited about the way the vocabulary is set up. I'm glad to be leaving spelling, even though we never really tested. It's not been something we're not very good test takers, let's just say that. And so that'll be language arts. I hope she'll still be reading with Mrs. Guess. They read out loud. She does not read out loud with me. When we do literature, we do audiobooks, or I read out loud. So she does have that 2 to 3 hours a week that she's practicing. And I haven't added anything else to that because my goal with her is to for her to love to read. And I don't think that's happened yet. She's had a lot of insecurity around reading, though I think she's quickly caught up and her fluency is much better. And my hope is that just continues through the next couple of years, and this guest stays a staple in our homeschool, to continue with just reading with her, just consistently reading, and hopefully at some point it catches on and she picks up books and loves to read. I do think that they're getting some reading comprehension with Mrs. Guest, so that's nice. I also think I have a book for reading comprehension, and I don't know. I haven't gone back to any kind of test taking skills, so it's sitting there. It's ready for when we are ready to do it, but I haven't done it yet, so that may come into language arts in 6th grade. So for math in 6th grade, again, I hope Mrs. E continues to be a part of our homeschool. We do 2, sometimes in the summer we do 3 hours a week of math. We have some stuff to catch up with, so I would say we're not at grade level, but we didn't come out of school at grade level. So we've done a lot of sort of review and solidifying and catching up, and so we're taking our time with math. She's definitely stronger in math than she was a year ago. I mean, it's impressive what she's learned, and her math facts are coming better, and she's doing long division and multiplication, multiple numbers. She's learning order of operations. She started some fraction work, but again, that's going to be a work in progress. So that'll just continue. I have purchased Math with Confidence, but that's just as another workbook to have to review. I have Math with Confidence 4 that she's working through right now. I'm not doing any teaching. I'm just reviewing. Missy does all the new information. And then I have Math with Confidence 5. So the hope is between this year, 6th grade and 7th grade, we'll get through 4 Math with Confidence 4 and Math with Confidence 5, but with great like handle of the topics, right? And so then that would be 6th and 7th, and then 8th will be some sort of pre-algebra or Math 7 or I don't know exactly where to go from here. I think Math with Confidence stops at grade 6, so maybe we'll do the 6th. Like maybe our goal will be 4th, 5th, 6th, not the teaching, just the review worksheets, 3 a day for review when Mrs. E is not here, to finish 4th, 5th, and 6th before 8th grade is done. And then maybe pre-algebra in 9th grade. I don't know, just have to see. Again, we're doing it year round, so it could click and we could go faster or we could take our time. So for science, I do like Sets Fresh Science. I think that'll stay when we have the next one. It's Earth Science to go to when we hit Earth Science, but she'd really wanted to do an astronomy unit, so we took a pivot and we got Call in the Chaos. Nadine does an astronomy unit, an Earth Science unit, and so I bought those, and the books are really pretty and it's really fun, and so we're going to just keep doing that in the fall, astronomy, and then probably Earth Science in the spring, because that's the big focus around here is Earth Science in the middle school. So we'll do a big concentration of Earth Science over the next 2 to 3 years, depending on how long it takes us, and work our way through Sassafras and work our way through Call in the Chaos, Astronomy, and Earth Science, because I think both are really good. For history, I'm tossing some things around. I have History Quest. We have to do American, right? Early and modern American. So I don't feel like we've gotten to early American history, which would have been what 5th grade would have been. We've been doing Curiosity Chronicles, and that's really a world history. So my thought is to pivot after we're done with this and do a unit in early American history and use the Liberty Kids videos from Prime Video. It's an old series, it's like 40 episodes, all on the early American history. Teachers Pay Teachers. I found a couple of units I'm looking through to see which one I like. I think that'll be our history for the next few months, and then maybe into the summer we might keep doing history just so we keep caught up for that. But I don't know, because we really only do math and grammar in the summer, so maybe we'll do some history. We are going to Wyoming, so I'm sure we'll do a little bit of work about Wyoming and Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons, and we'll do a unit on that before we go on that trip in July, and that'll be good. Electives, she still does tennis, she still does horseback, she hasn't done typing, we've done very little health, nothing formal, but I mean, she's also not a kid that wants to talk about stuff like that, so I've bought her some books, the books I showed in the beginning, and she reads them. I mean, I don't really know. I guess we'll have to go face that when we have to face it. Certainly, we talk about it. It's not like a secret or anything, but it hasn't been something she's wanted to focus on. She's a challenging kid sometimes with certain topics. So that's kind of what middle school's going to look like. So we're on good shape to finish by the end of May. Majority of what I wanted to get finished. The big thing being states and capitals, which I can't believe it. And then finishing Fix It Grammar. Oh my God, it's like they've gone on forever, but we're gonna get there. And then over the summer, grammar, math with Fix It Grammar. We'll just keep that going. We'll be in number 2. And then we'll use Hearth and Story for 6th, 7th, maybe 8th grade. We'll keep working through Math with Confidence while Mrs. E teaches this stuff, and then I have a whole bunch of other workbooks that I supplement with. Liberty Kids for Early American History, and we'll have to figure out what to do for American History. Maybe Curious or Chronicles again. I don't know. But that, and then Earth Science and Astronomy, the SAS for Science, and Calm the Chaoses units. So those are our big four. And she's got to learn to type. She's got to learn to write. So IEW is the other kind of I don't know. I don't know whether to do IEW like started in the summer. I thought about starting that and poetry in the summer and like getting all the poetry done for next year. Some people do that chunk of poetry. There's like 20, 30, 20 odd poems for the year, so it's like one a week. But some people say they do sort of like them over 2 weeks, and I was like, that's kind of nice. Maybe I'll do it like that at the beginning of the year just to get that section out of the way. But I don't know. I mean, I may start IEW in the summer just so and I have to learn it because she's not going to watch those videos. So I have to watch the videos. I have to learn how to teach it. I have to teach it to her. And so that's a big chunk of time that I'm not sure I have yet. But I'm sure I'll get there. So, summarizing, almost to the end of 5th grade. We're headed out of our 2nd year. We're headed into middle school, which was really when I thought I would be starting homeschooling, where I'm really interested in, like I'm really invested in getting her back where she needs to be. We've definitely sourced out several great sources, 2 great tutors. I hope they never go away, but they stay with us for the next few years because they're super helpful. And then just keep chugging along, and then we'll decide about high school, but who knows? We'll get there when we get there.